And we are at the tail end of May, about to head into June, which means we're about to head into Slammiversary season. And I've been an Impact Wrestling fan since late 2009, back when it was TNA Wrestling. And back then, I was 14 years old. So, with me being 14 years old at that time, if that company, if TNA Wrestling, if I saw on TV that a company told me this show is our biggest show, this show is our landmark show, this show is the equivalent, our equivalent of WrestleMania, we're talking about Bound for Glory, well, back then I believed it. And to be honest with you, I was delusional all the way up until 2017. Because I wanted Bound for Glory to be the equivalent of WrestleMania to TNA, to Impact Wrestling. I wanted that to be the reality. But, like I said, you got WWE, The Machine, and then you got other companies out here on very much lower levels. And, Impact Wrestling is one of those lower companies. There's no shame in saying that. It's just where they are. But 2018, once Scott D'Amore took over, Scott D'Amore and Don Callis, now just Scott D'Amore, and Anthem and Ed Nordholm as well, once they took over, I still wanted Bound for Glory to be the biggest show, their marquee show, but Slammiversary each and every single year has proven to be Impact Wrestling's true signature event. There's always hype surrounding this event, whether it be new debuts, whether it be new returns, whether it be the championship matches, whether it be the build to the pay-per-view itself. Somehow, the build to Bound for Glory is always lacking, and the build to Slammiversary is always hot. Doesn't matter how you switch things, doesn't matter how you actually book things, that just seems to always be the case. And this year's Slammiversary is even special because now Impact Wrestling is now 20 years old. 20 years old. We have Ultimate X returning. We have Josh Alexander, the current Impact World Champion, the current face of the company, the walking weapon, one of the best professional wrestlers in the world, bar none. Defending his Impact World Championship against a man that is the definition of Impact Wrestling. A man who's had so many gimmicks, so many name changes, and is now able to be taken seriously. And if you can't define Impact Wrestling, the former TNA Wrestling, as just that, with so many incarnations, so many name changes, so many brand changes in the past, then I don't know what the hell you've been doing. I don't know if you've been watching Impact Wrestling for the past 20 years, but that is TNA. That is Impact Wrestling. And if you watched that promotional video that Impact Wrestling put together for Slammiversary, then I would be an idiot to say that if you didn't watch that, if you did watch that, and you weren't at least interested and enticed to buy the pay-per-view, to buy Slammiversary, regardless of the match card, regardless of the talent on the show, then I don't know what you are doing. Because that video package was stellar. And the past few shows, the past few Impact Plus specials on Impact Wrestling, they have been stellar as well. So again, Josh Alexander versus Eric Young is just the main event. It's just the main plate for the Slammiversary pay-per-view, which, again, I'll say it here, and I'll continue to say it for years and years to come. Slammiversary is now, and pretty much forever will be, Impact Wrestling's signature event, their true equivalent of WrestleMania. All scales equal, scale it down a bit because it is Impact Wrestling, but overall, Slammiversary is the signature event for Impact Wrestling. And I could not be more pumped to see what's going to happen, and I'm hoping, they're able to work out with AEW to bring in some Joe and maybe Sting. And, they're able to work out with WWE and bring AJ Styles in for that show. Mount Rushmore of Impact Wrestling: Sting, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Kurt Angle. That's my Mount Rushmore of Impact Wrestling. So with that said, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you think Slammiversary is the marquee event in all of Impact Wrestling history, or do you think that they don't have a marquee event? Do you think that Bound for Glory is a marquee event? What do you think? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions on what might happen, what might transpire June 19th, 2022 at Slammiversary in Nashville, Tennessee.